The little boy stood silently outside the bakery window, smiling at a birthday cake he would never get to blow candles on. Just a few feet away, his exhausted mother quietly asked the cashier to cancel the order because she could no longer afford it. As she turned away, trying to hide her tears from her son, a widowed single father waiting in line made a decision that would forever change two families, and remind an entire town that the greatest gifts are never wrapped in expensive boxes. Before this emotional journey begins, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still exist, please like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel so our family and our community can continue growing through stories that remind us compassion can change the world one heart at a time. Nolan Pierce had learned that grief never truly disappeared, it simply taught people how to carry its weight. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife after a sudden illness, leaving him to raise his 9-year-old daughter, Elsie, alone. Every day was a careful balance between work, parenting, and keeping promises he had made to his late wife. He worked as a maintenance supervisor at a local community center, earning enough to pay the bills but never enough to live comfortably. Still, he believed that no child should ever feel forgotten, especially on a birthday. That sunny Saturday afternoon, Nolan and Elsie stopped at a neighborhood bakery to pick up a small chocolate cake for Elsie's upcoming birthday. While waiting their turn, Nolan noticed a young woman standing at the counter with a nervous expression. Beside her stood a cheerful little boy named Owen, wearing a faded superhero t-shirt and excitedly pointing toward a colorful birthday cake decorated with bright blue frosting and tiny race cars. The excitement on Owen's face slowly disappeared as his mother quietly asked the cashier to cancel the order. She explained that an unexpected car repair had emptied her savings, and after paying rent and groceries, there simply wasn't enough money left for the cake. She apologized repeatedly, embarrassed that her son had heard every word. Owen looked confused more than disappointed. He gently told his mother that birthdays were still fun without cake, but the forced smile on his small face revealed the truth he was trying so hard to hide. Nolan felt his heart sink. Without making a scene, he quietly paid for both cakes before the woman realized what had happened. When the cashier handed over the birthday cake, she explained that someone had already taken care of everything. The young mother immediately turned around, determined to repay whoever had helped. She found Nolan walking toward the exit holding Elsie's hand. With tears filling her eyes, she introduced herself as Claire Weston and thanked him with a trembling voice. Nolan simply smiled and explained that every child deserved to make a birthday wish with candles glowing in front of them. He wished Owen a wonderful birthday and politely declined any repayment. Claire watched him leave, overwhelmed by a kindness she hadn't expected from a complete stranger. Later that afternoon, Elsie quietly asked her father why he had spent money they had been carefully saving for her own birthday decorations. Nolan knelt beside his daughter and gently explained that kindness never makes us poorer. Sometimes giving away a little creates something far greater than money could ever buy. Elsie thought for a moment before smiling. She admitted she would rather have fewer balloons if another little boy could have his birthday cake. Her father hugged her tightly, realizing his late wife would have been proud of the compassionate young girl their daughter had become. A week later, Claire arrived unexpectedly at the community center carrying a handwritten thank you card baked into a basket of homemade cookies. She explained that she had searched several local businesses before finally discovering where Nolan worked. As they talked beneath the warm afternoon sun outside the center, Nolan learned Claire's husband had left years earlier, leaving her to raise Owen alone while working 2 part-time jobs. Every dollar was carefully planned, and unexpected expenses often meant sacrificing something important. Claire also learned that Nolan volunteered every Saturday afternoon organizing free activities for neighborhood children whose families couldn't afford expensive programs. Inspired by what she witnessed, Claire began volunteering too. She organized simple art classes while Nolan coached children's sports and repaired broken playground equipment. Elsie and Owen quickly became close friends, laughing together every weekend while parents across the neighborhood gradually joined the growing effort. What began with one birthday cake slowly transformed into a community tradition. Families who had extra groceries quietly shared them. Retired neighbors offered free tutoring. Local musicians performed during children's events. Small businesses donated school supplies and sports equipment. No one kept score of who gave more. People simply helped because someone else had once helped them. Months later, the community center struggled after severe weather damaged part of its aging roof. Repairs seemed impossible within the limited budget, and officials considered canceling many children's programs. Without being asked, neighbors organized a daytime fundraiser in the town square. Local bakers donated desserts. Musicians volunteered their performances. Artists sold handmade crafts. Parents cooked meals. Children created colorful paintings celebrating kindness and friendship. Claire stood watching the growing crowd with tears in her eyes. She realized none of it would have happened if Nolan hadn't quietly purchased one birthday cake months earlier. The fundraiser exceeded every expectation. The roof was repaired. New books filled the children's reading room. The playground received safer equipment. Even more importantly, the community discovered something it had been missing for years. Each other. During the reopening celebration, the mayor publicly thanked every volunteer who had contributed. When Nolan's name was mentioned, he looked genuinely uncomfortable with the attention. He insisted the real heroes were the families who chose compassion over convenience every single weekend. Elsie gently squeezed her father's hand. She had watched countless people thank him over the past several months, yet he remained exactly the same humble man who believed kindness should never be performed for applause. Claire smiled as she watched Owen and Elsie chasing one another across the playground. For the first time in years, both children belonged to something larger than their own small families. They belonged to a community built on generosity. One bright Sunday afternoon, the bakery owner surprised everyone by delivering an enormous birthday cake to the community center. Instead of celebrating one child, the cake honored every birthday that families had quietly struggled to afford throughout the year. Children gathered around together, laughing as candles were placed across the colorful frosting. No child stood alone. No parent felt embarrassed. Every family celebrated together. Before this story reaches its heartfelt conclusion, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you've ever experienced an unexpected act of kindness that changed your life, or share how you would help a family going through a difficult season. As the afternoon sunshine filled the community center with laughter, Nolan realized that the cake he had quietly purchased had never really been about frosting or candles. It had been about preserving a child's joy and restoring a mother's hope. Claire discovered that accepting kindness isn't a sign of weakness but an opportunity to let hope grow again. Elsie and Owen learned that the happiest celebrations are those shared with others, not measured by how much they cost. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. May we all remember that sometimes the smallest act of generosity can become the first chapter of someone else's miracle, proving that love multiplies every time it is shared.